What's up, fam? Day 287 of my 365-day adventure/challenge. If anybody does not know, I do this because I'm constantly working on myself. So these are things that I'm working on every day and sharing things that I do that help further my life. So I hope it can add value to somebody. And what I'm talking about today is conversations and keeping conversations alive and keeping focus alive, because when situations like this have happened in the past, I'm guilty of this, and I apologize to any community that I have ever, in a sense, spoken up for and then lost sight of what is actually happening and continuing to do anything towards that breakdown in that community. Meaning that, things like this have happened in the past and people have an opinion about it, and there's so many people who feel like it's not right and things should be done, and the opinion is there, but it's like, what else do we do, right? And I understand that people have lives and people have jobs and people have families and there's all these other things, but it's like everyone has that. We're all in the same boat here. And one thing I know for sure is that my favorite subject in high school was history. It was my favorite subject, and in middle school, and I will say I was very lucky, and I'm going to use the word privileged because I grew up in Burbank. I went to, to me, public schools, but good schools, and I had really good history teachers, which allowed me to fall in love with that subject. And I remember one day walking down like one of the hallways at John Muir Middle School, and I was reading the Diary of Anne Frank, and I just thought to myself, like, I want to be in a history book one day. And I had Mr. Barbaria, who was a phenomenal teacher, and he just loved it so much that he had me love it. And shout out to Mr. Thompson, who just now retired from Burbank High. The way he talked about history was like, it was like the party that just happened this last weekend, and he was talking about it, made it so cool, made me so intrigued. And so again, I was very blessed and fortunate to have these role models to help me fall in love with history. And I thought to myself, I want to be in a history book, and I wasn't like, I'd never thought like, oh, I want to be an actor or like famous like that. But I thought, like, to be in a history book is kind of famous, and I think everyone has that moment where they grow up and they want to be some type of thing that is of, I guess, importance, right? Like, you want to feel like you have worth here in your life, and that's what that was for me. And right now it's like, Lizzie, there has been so many opportunities in your life of being able to make these huge impacts and differences. And it's like, subconsciously I know that, but then I always think, oh, I pay my bills, I have all these things, blah, blah, blah. And all this like BS of life gets in the way, and like, you're not actually living, probably your best life that you really can offer to the world here. And so the thing is when our focus gets off of these issues and the conversations stop around these issues, all possibility of change and evolution and moving forward ceases to exist. And that's why it's so important that we need to keep these conversations alive, because I right now am so guilty of, Lord knows, a million issues that could be addressed globally that I don't work on every day. And I know I talked about this in another video. It's a whole lot of weight to take on if you're trying to like save the planet. There's a million issues that need to be solved. But right here, right now, I think everyone would agree that the racism, the privilege, the BS of our leadership, and, from politics to, the police departments, just all kinds of things. And I also want to say, I have friends who are police officers. I love you guys. I want you guys to know that I wish safety on you and your families, and I know that your hearts are great and good, and I appreciate everything you guys are doing. And just for all the good cops, just like step the fuck up and like speak your truth too. Like, I know that's like so much, and I say that with love, but it's like, you guys, every person of coming from the heart and good space, like, there needs to be a stand. And that's why everyone collectively, consciously, this is a war on consciousness right now. Like, we are feeling each other, and that is so untouchable. That is so of the divine. And like, it's like our souls are being called to action, and we really need to find ways that work for us. And I talked about this in another video. Different people have different ways and different paths of going about their own truth, and I want us to honor and respect that. And I encourage and I challenge anyone that is in a leadership position, whether it's a police officer or someone in politics. I don't really know politicians, but even people that have leadership of a dance team, like something that you're still involved with, lead like you've never led before, leading from the heart, all ego aside, and like just lean into your inner guide. And I'm always telling people, give it up to something of a higher consciousness to help you move forward, and just move even though you don't know what to do. I don't know what the hell I'm really even saying in this video, where it's going to take me, but I'm going to make it either way. And I just really challenge anyone in that space and encourage anyone that has that space and has a little bit more power. You have a platform, you have more followers, like whatever it is, dude, like trust yourself. Trust yourself that if you're coming from the heart, whatever move you make is going to benefit everyone. And I think two big moves need to happen. Keep the conversation alive and keep the focus alive as well. Now, I will say this. I have questioned whether some of this stuff is also to deter us from other things, because there's been so many things in the past that have been conspiracy theories of things being planned or put into place to distract us from other things that they don't want us to be looking at. And the news is just, they just want to feed you whatever the heck they feed you. And news, I challenge you to actually put out some good stuff, some good content, and also show the other side of this. Because I know in Minneapolis, after there was a lot of like rioting and things like that, people in the communities came out and were also cleaning up the community. You know, people who I guess I'm assuming weren't a part of the riots, or maybe they were, and then they're like, oh crap, like my rage got the best of me last night and I burnt down this building, and feeling some type of way about it. But we need to also be showing the good that's happening, because we're just fed stories all the time. And so people, you gotta guard your mind on the information that you are taking in, and be a leader for your own freaking mind. Be a leader in your home. Be a leader in your neighborhood. Be a leader in your community. Keep the conversations alive that need to be had. Keep your focus on whatever it is. Like, what is your path? What is your passion? Because it might be for women's rights. It might be for children. It might be for the planet. It might be for how we treat animals. Like, again, it's another video. Go check it out if you want. Find your lane. Be passionate about it. Lead with the heart, because there's a lot of spaces that need work. But I'm telling you right now, if you're an American, like this freedom, land of the free, like we gotta walk our talk, you guys, like all of us, and myself included. And I personally want to apologize to anyone who has ever been abused or judged or persecuted or treated with any type of racism, anything like that, from my lineage, literally going back to the beginning of wherever the heck my people came from, right? I am a white American, pretty much all white, Irish, Indian, English, Native American Indian, Cherokee, and Danish. That's pretty much all I am, right? And my Native American is like 1/32, so she's real tiny, right? I'm pretty much English. So I know my lineage has been a part of some BS out there. And I do a Ho'oponopono practice, which is a Hawaiian prayer of I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And it actually digs into us going into our lineage and freeing ourselves spiritually and energetically of things that have affected our line, our bloodline. And I was doing this practice even before all this, but now I'm like, yo, I gotta dig in even more, because I know part of my line has been a part of that. So again, I apologize on a part of anything that my family has ever done. And I will say this too, my bloodline also has had shit done to them as well. And that's when we again have to remember, like, we are all one at some point in someone's lineage. And that's why I love those little swipe tests or whatever when you find out who you are, because you might think, oh, you're a white supremacist and you're all this and whatever, and you don't even know. You actually might be pretty surprised on what's in your bloodline, and then maybe you'll look at other people differently. So anyways, that was kind of long, guys, but keep conversation alive, just keep this stuff alive. It has to stay alive. Otherwise, we will get unfocused again. It's an ADD society, and we're just like all over the place. Stay focused on the prize. Stay focused on your truth. It's just time for everybody to really come from whatever is on their heart. We all came here with a special gift, a special something, and it is our duty to be successful, you guys. And that's going to look different for everyone. So support people in their truth. And energetically, you're going to recognize truth. You know? If you can step outside of your ego, you'll always recognize truth. Energy doesn't lie. So trust in that, and I think you'll really find your tribe. You'll really find your people. And I know good will always win. It always will. We wouldn't have made it this far as humanity if it doesn't. You know? I still have hope in people because I have literally too many amazing people to believe otherwise. There's so many amazing humans in my life of every ethnicity and religion and sexual preference and all the things. Like, it's all categories that, what do they even mean anyways, right? But then, like I had seen in some of these other quotes, it's looking also at how, you know, there are people of color and people who are, you know, of different sexual preference according to traditional standards, and it's actually honoring the differences between us, right? It's this paradox, and it's like, let people be who they are and like love them and accept them for who they are, and the world will change. But the biggest thing is you change and your experience of life changes. Like, how would it be to be able to view life in such a beautiful and happy way? Like, be a happy person. It's going to start with how you look at others, because it's a reflection of how you actually look at yourself. So all that healing comes from within. I love every single person that is out there in the world, living your best life and doing the best that you can. I know that people are just doing the best that they can right now, but always level up. Don't let that be an excuse to check out. Level up and push yourself and challenge yourself. And when you feel like you are like real stuck, take the responsibility to reach out to someone who can inspire you and someone who can like get your mind straight and put you on a space that you can really move forward and be functional. Because it's about you, but it's also really about the world, guys. I love you. Peace out. Do you.